Welcome to Renal Renewal mat movement. So finding a comfortable standing position, feeling the weight dropping through the bones, soft knees, wide feet. And then bringing the back of the hands to the kidneys and circle. Connecting in, generating heat, bringing awareness. Then the arms come forwards. And the left arm is coming down and back. It's going to bend and the palm is going to push forwards. The other one comes down and back. So finding this movement, and there's a sense of the kidneys at the back connecting us with the past and ancestry, which comes through to the present and will affect the future. Next time the back arm comes forward, leaving the other one forward, we'll bring the arms down. So there are some powerful acupressure points in the ankles and the sole of the foot. We're going to lift a heel, doesn't really matter which one, and then start to circle the leg. Now, in the sole of the foot, you have kidney 1, inside aspect of the ankle, kidney 3, and the outside aspect, bladder 60. Circle the other way. Let that come down. Become aware of how the leg that's been moving feels in comparison to the other one. And then we lift the other heel up. Circle one way. Pressing into kidney 1, activating kidney 3 and bladder 60, and then the other way. So our kidney meridian. We're going to roll onto the outer edges of the feet. We're going to bring the fingers to the soles of the feet, right in the center, tap, then come up the inside of the ankle, the inside of the lower leg until you come to the knees. Then we're going to come back behind the knees. We're going to come up the back of the leg, outside the midline. Then we're coming in to the groin area, either side of the midline. We're going to tap up until we come to the breastbone or sternum. I'm going to come to the outer edge of this. Then when you reach the collarbones, tap underneath, come back, and then up the throat. So we have a flow now for the kidneys. We're going to bring the hands to the heart, bend the knees, and the left leg we're bringing on We release this and the leg comes all the way back. We're going to straighten the front leg and bring the hands to the shins. We now rebend the front leg. The arms are coming up, but the weight is shifted over this front leg. The arms then come down. We either connect at the wrists or lace the fingers, arms back, heart forward. You can either stay here or you can lower the heart down, so you rest the right shoulder to the right knee, and then the arms come down. You might need to bend the front leg more. We're going to bring the weight forwards and just take the back leg off. It might come off a little. It might lengthen out. You might be able to straighten the front leg. This is an assisted warrior 3. And then we bring all that back down. Roll on up. We're going to reach body, arms up, and lift the heels. We come back. Returning to neutral, I'm going to change ends. And we will flow again. So perhaps the weight now in the left so that we can bring up the right. We have that knee bent. The kind of half chair. We then, as we come out of it, take this right leg back. We lengthen the front leg. Hands shin, lengthen out through the spine. Then the front leg bends. The arms come somewhere alongside the head. The arms then come back, either linking at the wrists, lacing the fingers, reaching the heart through, either staying here or lowering so that the left shoulder comes down to the left knee. Whichever one you've chosen, release the hands. They come down to the earth. That leg is bent. And you try to take the leg off a little. It might come a bit higher. You can keep the support leg bent or you can lengthen it for assisted warrior 3. And then we bring that down. Both knees are bent. Roll on back up. Have a big reach to the sky. Raising the heels. We come back. We're now taking a wider stance. So the left hand on top in the bladder area. We're going to bend that left knee and circle. We're going to bend it again, but straight out to the side with that top arm. Then we're bending both legs as much as is comfortable. We will open the arms. We lengthen the legs back up. This time it's the right hand over the left. Soften the knees and the right. Circles. And it will be that top arm. We toe heel our way back into parallel. Our bladder meridian, index fingers gently into the corner of the eyes. Then tap up to the inside of each eyebrow. Bring in some other fingers and you're tapping over the head, either side of the midline, down the back of the head, the back of the neck, either side of the midline. Where you can reach at the back, either side of the midline, down through the sacrum. And then when you come to the backs of the legs, this will be on the midline. So you're going to come all the way down. You'll need to bend your knees. Once you get to the ankles, come to the outer edge of the ankles and run along the outside of the foot so that you come to the outer edge of the little toe, right at the nail. And then we'll just tap it all the way back, outside of the foot, ankle, and coming up the midline of the lower leg, the upper legs. Where you can reach at the back and come up to the neck, either side of the midline, all the way over the head and back gently, either side, the inside of the eyebrows and gently the corner of the eyes. So we have a flow for the bladder. I'm going to start connecting the bladder back into the kidneys and the adrenal glands, like little hats at the top. So coming up a bit higher, having a little rub, our fight, flight, freeze, befriend, which definitely can affect the bladder. We release. It will be the left leg back again, and it's going to take us into Warrior Two. Do you find your adjustments? From here, we straighten the front leg. We tip into the triangle. So you might find that your hand lands here. You might find that you can come down. I'm going to come back up a little bit. The back leg is going to turn in now. So we're going to look over that front leg. It's going to bend. We're going to take up the back heel. So we have this kind of 90-90 bend through the legs. From here, we're going to try and lower the back legs. If you need to bring the hands down on the floor to help you, do. But find your way of lowering that back knee. Then the arms come down. The back leg comes in. Hands to shins. And we lengthen out. Soften through the knees, pelvis forwards, bringing you up. I'm changing sides. Adrenal glands. The right leg coming back. We find a warrior two. into triangle. Turning towards the front leg. The back one, we swivel, take the heel off. The foot might need to come in a little bit. And we bend both legs. So it's a lunge. We either keep the arms up or we take the hands to the floor and bring the knee down. Small back bend. The hands come down. The back leg comes in. Hands to shin, za, and lengthen. Soften through the knees, pelvis forwards. Roll back up. And just take a moment. See how you feel in standing. What might have shifted or changed at this level from the start. And now we're coming down to hands and knees. I'm readjusting my camera and having a drink, and I'll meet you there. So the bladder and kidneys very much associated with the water element. If we think of their storage and filtration of fluids. We're going to weight shift to have a sense of fluidity. We're directing the weight through the bones of the limbs. Shifting the weight forward, side and back. Just let the torso move with this, with a sense of water. Changing the direction of this. Then cat cowing with a sense of wave. How is this feeling wave-like to you? Take a pause. And then we're going to rotate at the kidney area. So the rib cage to the left, up, right. So feel this initiated around the kidney, adrenals area, and then in the other direction. We take a pause. We let one hand have a shake out. We let the other. And then we have a flow for the bladder meridian. So we're in hands and knees. We're going to take the left leg. It's going to come back. We push into the heel and forwards into the hands. Heel, hands, heel, hands. We wait here, we take the leg up. You can either stay here or try the dips. The elbows turn in towards each other. We bend, come up, we bend, come up, we bend, we come up. This leg comes in, toes under, into the downward facing dog. From here, we bend the knees. The heels will come up even higher. We bring the chest towards the legs, so it's crouching dog. And we bring them all the way down. The arms come to the sides. We lace the fingers together. And we push up the knees a little or a lot into the dolphin. We come on down. Before we do the other side, we're going to rest in child, the very curvy child. So you can either keep the toes under or release them. Whichever, we're going to try and take the arms back. And we're making a kind of kidney shape. If you think of the kidney, it kind of curls around, similar to the child position. And then we come out of this. I will change sides. So it's the right leg. Rock into the heel, hands, heel, hands, heel, hands. When the weight's through the hands, you can take the leg up. You can stay here, or you can add in the dips. You need to bring the elbows in and let them bend. After your third one, bring the leg down, bend it in, toes under into the downward facing dog. And then we have a crouch dog. So we bend the knees, the heels will come up higher, the chest comes towards the upper legs. We take that then on down. Sides of the lower arms, lace the fingers. The knees either come off a little or a lot, and we organize into dolphin. We come back down. We're going to take the knees back. Release the fingers and bring the forehead down. Yeah, just rock a little side to side. And this will bring us into the inner edge of each eyebrow where bladder 2 point is. Take a pause. Then either extend one arm or both arms. If you extend one arm, halfway through, change to the other side. So we find an extension here. And in this extension, we slide one side, then the other side. And then we come all the way back up. Here, just seeing what feels a kind of fluid movement for your torso. How can you make it fluid? Settle. Then the hands are coming to the left so we can bring that right leg through. Here, we're going to come up. We take the pelvis forwards. We're going to reach up, feel the kidneys at the back, pushing the heart forwards. Then we're going to draw the pelvis back a little. The right arm comes down and the left, you can't quite see it, but it's actually over the head and it's pulsing over to that side. Then both arms are down. This front leg, keeping the foot where it is, just starts to lengthen. It might not lengthen all the way. Then we bend it back. We curl the toes under. We take off the back knee and then we try to lengthen both legs. You might need to draw the back foot in a bit. We have a fold in pyramid. We come back down. The right hand joins the left. We let this leg come back, both sets of toes curled under. We're going to come up and then the right arm is coming down to the heel. We look up, feel the kidneys supporting this movement. Release. And then on the other side. So this time, the hands are to the right so that this left foot can come through. But then coming up, our pelvis, if it's comfortable, comes forwards. The arms are up. Feel that the kidneys are pushing you through. Then the pelvis comes back. The left arm comes down. And the other arm is weighted over the head. So you have a side bend. Both arms down. Front leg begins to lengthen. It might not lengthen all the way. And back. Back leg, toes curl under. We lift the back knee off. You might need to hop the foot in a bit. And then we try to straighten both legs and fold over. We come back down. The left hand will join the right. This leg will come back. Toes are curled. We come up. And that's the left arm. This time will come up and back. And the right up. And we look towards the sky. We release out of this. We're coming all the way down now onto our front. So we're going to rest the forehead. I'm going to let the pelvis just rock side to side. Let it settle. And see if you can connect into the bladder area. You might even feel a rise and fall there created by breath. Bringing the awareness now from the bladder area up to the forehead. Turn the head a little to the right, and this will press into bladder 2 point at the inner edge of the eyebrow. And slowly roll it through to the left for the other bladder 2 point, the inner edge of that eyebrow. Coming back to the center, let the toes curl under. Let the knees come away. Really push into the heels. So we're stimulating the bladder meridian in the backs of the legs, right up the midline. Then we release them down. Release the toes. We're going to bend one leg. It really doesn't matter which one. Flex the foot and see if you can lift the knee off. 1 time, 2 times, and a 3rd. Release down. Just make a connection with this leg and how it feels in comparison to the other leg. And then the other leg bends, flexes, rise, lower, rise, lower, rise, lower. Keeping this leg still bent, let the other one bend, both feet flex. And 3 more, lifting both knees. 1, 2, you might find it's only a tiny bit. 3, and we gently release. Oh. Whew. So we're going to move to the kidneys. The kidney meridian comes up the inside of the lower legs, but the back of the leg from the knee to the pelvis. We're going to roll these legs in and out. We're taking a pause. And then we're going to come into our Sphinx or low cobra. And really feel that the kidneys are drawing your heart forwards. So the kidneys, strong postural support at the back of the body, connecting us with our past, our ancestry, what's behind us. That opens out into the present and extends into the future. We come back down. I'm going to take the left hand, the back of it, and just have a little rub of that kidney on that side. We bring the arm back, we lengthen the head away from the earth. We bend that leg, the left leg. Then we see if we can take the hand. It may not touch, it may touch. The foot's flexed. You either stay here, or if it's available, you lift the knee. So a half bow, lower back down. We're going to bring the head down to rest, and we're going to Just circle the lower leg, massaging that knee, just in case it's become uncomfortable. And then the other way. We lower that down. And then we lift up the head. We push through the arms. We'll lift it there. We're going to bend. We're taking now the right arm. It may not touch. It may touch. You may even lift. It comes down. We return down. We circle. Then the other way. We gently lower this leg. We lengthen the head away. Take the right hand and just have a little rub at the kidney here. We release. We push back up into any child position that suits you. And then from this child position, we reorganize to have both legs lengthened in front of us. So we're trying to really draw up and down through the spine. We're lifted. So perhaps bring the hands to the kidneys again and just give a sense of pushing them up and forwards. Then we're taking the arms kind of shoulder height. And we have a reach, open and close, forwards, open and close, back. The arms come down, the soles of the feet come together, so we have this extended butterfly. We're finding the wave in the spine. We're going to draw it back, going to lift it up. It's going to come over forwards. I'm going to pull it back again. It's going to come up. It's going to come forwards, and we rest. From here, we extend the head and body forwards. We reach up. Now we curl down and back. It's going to come through. Going to come up. It's going to come back. And we're going to stay there. You can use the abdominals to support it. Then we're going to come back up onto the sitting bones. We can either hold underneath our knees. You'll find once you start to take the legs off, you'll roll back a bit. Or you could have the hands. So we're going to do this bent leg boat. You could stay here with the hands under the knees or the feet, or you could even try. We're not fully extended, we're keeping them bent, but we have extended them slightly. And then we release out. And we have a flow for the kidneys. We're starting with the right leg bent, the left lengthened. We have the hands behind the fingers, either away from you or towards you, whatever feels good. We're then pushing through this foot and the other heel. You may keep the pelvis on, or you may want to lift up. And then we bring that back down. We're going to open out to the side. We're hinging, we fold. We're then rolling back a little bit. The left arm comes in front of the left leg. The right arm comes up on a high diagonal. We pulse, so we're kind of opening the body. And I'm going to curl back over. We use that arm to bring us up. It's actually going to go behind. The other's going to join it. The bent leg stays, the lengthened leg bends. We find a butterfly, and we're using the hands at the back to kind of extend in the butterfly. And then we're going to fold in the butterfly. We come out and we repeat it on the other side. So it's the right leg lengthened, the left leg bent. You come behind. You might possibly keep the pelvis still there. Lift through the torso. So either grounded or lifted. Up we come. And then back. In. Fold. The right arm comes in, the left on a high diagonal pulse. We let that arc over. We use it to bring us back up. It comes behind. We find our butterfly. So your knees might be quite near the sky. It might journey more towards the earth, whichever one's right for you. We're going to try and use the kidneys to lift us in this position. Then I'm going to go the other way. So the fold, the hands really where they're most comfortable for you. Finding your way out of this. So we're going to now lengthen both legs and fold. We're giving ourselves a sense of the bladder meridian. Going to roll on up, and then we will just tap down the meridian. So index gentle inner corner of the eyes, then the inner aspect of the eyebrows. Then we're up over the head, either side of the midline, back down where you can reach just either side of that. Then we need to bend the legs so we can come down the midline. all the way down the midline of the calves. When we get to the ankles, we're coming to the outside, right to the toenail of the little toe. We release that. And then we are prayer hands. We're resting the elbows on the knee. And we are placing one thumb in each of the eyebrow, the inner aspect of it. And you might feel a little indentation there in the eye socket. So bladder 2. And the weight of the head will give the pressure into the thumbs and the point. And come out of it. So we have another bladder point on the outside of the ankle, but we also have a kidney one. So kidney 3, bladder 60, and we can access them both together using thumb, index finger, and just squeezing. I flex the foot, it makes it a bit easier. I can turn a bit if that helps as well, just squeezing. So I've got the thumb on the inside and the index finger. Rather than the end of it, I've actually bent it, so I'm using the knuckle of the index finger. Release. Another potent kidney point we did in standing, which was kidney 3. So the foot changes colour where it's more a deeper pinky colour. Then you're just going in the centre there into the sole, and that's kidney 1. So you bring the thumbs there and just have a little press in. Kidney 1, bubbling spring. Most yin point connecting us with the earth. Finding the fluid, bubbling up, allowing our energy to bubble up. So we will tap into now the meridian. So it starts there where we've been pressing. It's then coming to kidney 3 on the inside of that ankle bone. There's a little kind of hollow here. It's going to follow up the inside of the lower legs. When it gets to the knees, it's coming back behind, and then it's coming up the back of the upper legs, just outside the midline. Trust it a little bit further. Then we bring our hands to the groin area, either side of the midline. It widens at the breastbone. It comes under the collarbone. And we'll come back and up the throat. And we have a flow now for bladder. So we start with the legs bent, okay? We're going to reach the arms, they're not touching. We're going to draw in the abdominal muscles, and we're going to really contract into the bladder area and come back up. When we're up this time, the hands act as a support, the legs lengthen, and we rotate one way, and then the other way. The right leg is bending. We're going to wrap. We can use this to draw us up. And then coming around the other way, so the back arm, same arm as leg, inside, push away. If anyone wants more, then the right arm slides and bends, and you might be able to bind. Definitely not for everybody. You turn back, but either bringing a hand underneath the knee or underneath the foot. We're going to bring that leg up for the bladder meridian. And we're taking it back down. We're finding our half fish. So hands, the arms down. Really using the kidneys to lift us up here. The neck stays lengthened, and we let the bent leg lengthen into a fuller fish. Then, doesn't matter which leg, let one bend so that you can come all the way up. Let the other leg bend, and we'll go again. We take the hands behind, we lengthen, circle one way, circle the other way. Then left leg bends. You're going to wrap around. You're going to turn. Same arm as leg, pushing against each other. You can open your twist. Some of you might like the bind. You slide the arm, you bend it, take the other hand behind. Then you release. So hands either underneath the knee or the foot. We're kind of pushing the torso towards the leg, leg towards the torso. We're letting those kidneys support. Then we come up. We bend back. We come into the half fish. Make sure that the head is lengthened comfortably from the neck. And you can lengthen down, really reaching up through. Then choose a leg to bend. It really doesn't matter which one. Let the pelvis come in a bit so that you can lower yourself down. And we're starting with constructed rest. So the legs come out a bit further, they are bent, and then just bring the knees together. So this relaxes the inside of the legs. I'm going to move the arms out of the way so that you can see what I'm doing, but you can have your arms down by your sides if that's more comfortable. So we're now waving through the spine, and it's the tailbone that pushes down and then up. When it's up, lower back goes down, and it's down, the lower back comes up. But just play with that, different speeds. See if you can find a level of fluidity here. Let that settle. We're going to come to our more familiar knees apart, parallel position. We're going to take one knee up, the other knee up, and let the legs find a kind of fluid movement. Very soft, very easy. How can they be quite fluid? And we're going to bring the hands to the calves. The tailbone comes off the mat. We pulse. It might help to draw in the abdominals as well. And the legs come back down. The arms moving from the shoulders. Find a sense of fluidity. Then the arms are lengthening. They're reaching by the sides or the outside of each leg. Chin to chest. Drawing the abdominals. See how far you can reach the arms forwards. It makes little pulses. And then we come back down. Again, I'm moving the arms so that you can see. We have pelvic tilts. So we're sucking the abdominals down, the lower back down, the tailbone comes up. And then we're releasing as the tailbone comes down, the lower back comes up. So pelvic tilts. So it's a little like what we did before, but the legs are in a different position. The next time that the lower back is down, let the legs come up, the big toes together, hands to the knees, and we're circling. Doesn't matter which way first. We keep the toes connected, then we change direction. And then bring that down. Open into a comfortable butterfly for you. So the feet could be quite high to the groin area. They could be an extended butterfly. See what feels good. One hand on top of the other, the bladder area. And just with the abdominals, either imagine, or if you can feel them, suck up the abdominals, or suck in the abdominals, suck up the pelvic floor muscle and release. So the pelvic floor is attached to the pubis bones, tailbones, and the two sitting bones. Obviously very important for the bladder, the pelvic floor. So you have controlled choice over release. And then let the knees come back up. We're going to lengthen one leg. It doesn't actually matter which one you lengthen. The arms now need to come down to the sides of the body. So we're going to push through the foot of the bent leg up into a bridge and let the lengthened leg come up. So you push up and the lengthened leg comes up. And then you lower it all back down together. You have 1, 2, and 3. We change over. So the foot of the bent leg, a strong push down, push in other places so that you can come up and down, up and down. Last time. Let both legs lengthen down. Have a little shimmy shake out there. When we bend back in, releasing the fingers together underneath the head, we are sliding to the left side. Take a pause. Come back. We're now drawing in the abdominals, the upper body's coming up, and the left shoulder to the right knee. We come back, and then both knees to the left and the head to the right. We come back. This time, sliding to the right, returning to center. Drawing in the abdominals, right shoulder to left leg. We come back, both knees to the right, head to left. Knees back to center, head back to center, and then coming on to the side that faces the camera. Settling here a moment. Then come up to semi-sitting. We're settled. And then a comfortable finishing sitting position, however you'd like to organize yourself. We're allowing the spine here to grow up and down at the same time. We're coming now to the earlobes. We're just going to gently squeeze and pull. And I'm going to travel that round the outer rim of the ears. So the ears, in the traditional Chinese medicine, kind of reflect the kidneys. They are the shape. Also, hearing's the kind of sense that's related to the winter time and the kidneys. We'll bring our hands then to the kidneys again. A few circles there, nice and warming. And we bring one hand down to the bladder, one on top. Have a sense of the triangle between the two kidneys and the bladder. And then we bring the hands, prayer to the heart. Feel that the kidneys at the back can kind of support the heart here. We close our eyes, tune into our internal environment, what it's telling us, the twitches, the twingles, the itches, where we're weighted, where we're light, what is comfy and what is not. Simultaneously, we are in our outer world too, the external environment, which we can hear through our ears, feel through the air on our skin, how it makes us feel. And then if we softly open the eyes, we take in the light, the colours, the textures, and the shapes. And thank you. So you might have time to stay, explore more. You may be transitioning. Again, the skin is a good way, kind of connecting to make transition, because this is your outermost part. So this brings you closer to the outer world and whatever it is you're going to do next. And I'd like to thank you once again for sharing this journey with Renal Renewal.